1920, debuted 1935, a star 1949, retired 1963, died 2015. Masa-e Eiga, better known under her stage name, Setsuko Hara, made over 100 pictures during a career that didn't even last 3 decades, yet she is only remembered for a handful. Dubbed the Eternal Virgin in Japan, she is impenetrable on a metaphysical level. Her smile is arcane, something which she turned into an art form. Due to family already working in the film industry, Eiga was eased into acting, taking on the name Setsuko Hara. It was at Nikatsu where she first found work in one of Sadao Yamanaka's 3 surviving films. Her performance, demure. In 1937, Setsuko Hara is cast in a German-Japanese co-production meant to celebrate the growing relationships between the 2 countries, known as The New Earth in Japan and The Daughter of the Samurai in Germany. The film was released months after the signing of the Anti-Comintern Pact, which solidified their status as allies. Hara is cast as the ideal Japanese woman, the kind of girl who could bring a Japanese man back to tradition after years abroad. And she could not fulfill this destiny, willing to throw herself right into the heart of a volcano. The Daughter of the Samurai was just the beginning of her ubiquitous wartime career. Much speculation has been made about this period, as Hara never once publicly renounced her wartime efforts. Unlike her contemporaries, she did not apologize for these jingoistic pictures meant to seduce the youth into joining the fight. After the war and during the occupation, Hara maintained her star status by working with multiple directors who have come to be known as the post-war humanists. These were films that eschewed traces of feudalism for U.S. censor-approved democracy. Themes of individuality prevailed, and Hara fit right in, a complete 180.
家のため、国家のためということで、個々の人格を束縛して無理やりに一つの型にはめ込もうとする。日本人の今までの暮らし方の中で一番間違っていたことなんです。
Akira Kurosawa's first post-war picture, No Regrets for Our Youth, cast Hara as a comfortable woman transformed into a fiercely independent social activist over the course of a decade. Understandably, this was the only time a Kurosawa picture featured a female protagonist. Why try to top it? Hara's collaboration with Ozu began in 1949 with Late Spring, and so here begins the roles which entranced audiences around the world and thus defined her. Moving beyond her films with Ozu, we quickly see there is much more to her than this image of the ideal Japanese woman, the Eternal Virgin. 1951, Akira Kurosawa adapts The Idiot. Hara plays a woman as cold and biting as the winner the film is set. Ostensibly, she is a femme fatale. In Japan, the image of sudden nosebleed is an indicator of sexual arousal. In her collaborations with Mikio Naruse, we can view her through another lens. We can see Hara actually in troubled marriages. Exciting, as we are used to her playing characters dancing around the idea of marriage, either potential or ones long since dissolved.
でもね、あやちゃん、結婚っていうことで、その人を新しい目で見直すっていうあんたの気持ちが、いろいろあらを拾い出すもんなのよ。まあ、私の経験だけど。
With Naruse, however, she gives the most Hara-esque line.
失礼なことをお聞きしますけど、あなた再婚なさるおつもりですか？
いいえ、そんなことまだ考えたことありませんわ。
There is no denying the depth of her character in her work with Ozu, despite that it is these films which get simplified for the purpose of Hara as Madonna.
考えてんのよ。このまま一人で暮らしていけるかどうか。
1963, Hara announced her retirement. She eschewed the usual niceties of health reasons and bluntly revealed she never enjoyed her time in the pictures. She did it as work with which she could support her family. Her last role was in Inagaki's adaptation of the legend of the 47 Ronin. In it, she plays the wife of a Ronin leader. She is on screen 3 minutes and 10 seconds in a film with a runtime of 3 hours and 19 minutes. It is Kamakura that she retired to, the home of Ozu's resting place, who died the same year. 20 miles south of her birthplace in Yokohama, she never gave another interview, never planned to come back, and never married or had kids. As far as we can tell, she finished the majority of her life quietly and on her own terms. She never kept in touch with anyone from her movie-making past. She arranged for the news of her death to be released 2 months after her actual passing. There is an anecdote about Dick Cavett. While visiting Japan, he found himself in Kamakura. He left a bouquet of flowers on Eida's doorstep, rang the doorbell, and bolted, ashamed of his invasion of privacy. In 2001, filmmaker Satoshi Kon releases Millennium Actress. A documentary filmmaker is granted a career-spanning interview with the legendary actress who went into seclusion after her retirement. The climax of the film sees the titular actress running through her memories, sprinting through various scenes from the pictures she made. Memory and history are blended, and in doing so, we see her age at 24 frames per second. A similar effect can be recreated just from 6 films she made with Ozu. The daughter who refused to marry only to eventually do so. The daughter who chooses to marry without the need of her family's approval. The widowed daughter-in-law, who traditionally respects the parents of her deceased husband more than their own kids. The older sister who has left her husband, taking her child with her, only to return to him by the film's end. The mother who realizes her daughter must live her own life now that she is an adult. And the widowed daughter-in-law, an older sister figure to her relatives, who sees no hurry in getting remarried. Born 1920, debuted 1935, retired 1963, died 2015. Masae Eiga, despite her best efforts, could not kill Setsuko Hara. But in her retirement, and the way in which she went about it, she expresses her individuality fully, a theme common in most of her roles. These were the worst reviews she had received since her beginnings as an actress. The moment when she revealed Setsuko Hara was just another part to play. The deal is fair. Eiga was once again herself, and we still got to keep Setsuko Hara, however intangible that might be.